Hey again, everyone. Todd Michael Putnam from Creative Adventure Tables, bringing you another adventure table idea, and this is the Desolate Lands. The Desolate Lands. So it's basically a desert-ish like area. It didn't start out as a desert, but the reason it became one is maybe due to plague, or the land is ravaged by magic and stuff, like in the Dark Sun setting, basically, right? So there's raggedy type trees. Most of them are dead. The ones that exist, a lot of them are blighted. A lot of barren earth, no grass, that kind of thing. And it's these lands are all basically kill or be killed survival type area. And so the idea for something like this on a travel session, as the players are traveling through the desolate lands, is that the entire table isn't contiguous, even though everything's all set together like this. I'd have it laid out this way, except for none of the minis would be on there, and then this cave system that I have over here would be covered up in black cloth or black poster board to cover the various rooms. And then I would just do it in segments. So they might be traveling for a day or so, and then they'd come to this area here, and I would put these giant vultures down as they're traveling between the rocks, or as they're traveling along this way here. And they may get attacked by giant vultures that are going after anything that's shiny, or literally just seeing prey. And there probably would be no treasure there whatsoever, or maybe the treasure that the players might find off of the bones of other travelers who had gone past them. Maybe there's some coins and stuff there, something of that nature, but nothing that the giant vultures themselves would have any use for or be interested in. Another type of encounter that they could have is like a traveling caravan, and it could be an honest merchant. It could be a shady, shifty one that's selling stuff that isn't real, that's all fake. It could be a merchant who has a problem where a ways back or somewhere up the road, or whatever, one of their members were kidnapped or grabbed by bandits, for example, and they're willing to pay the characters to go to the location and see if they can get the person back for them. So any number of things could happen with a caravan like this traveling along. And again, this would just happen in this area, so to speak. It wouldn't be, I'd take the vultures away and stuff, and it would just be this area all by itself. And then maybe a few hours later in the afternoon, they could come across this. I think it's pronounced Lamia or whatever. That could be there. That could it could have riddles for them, sort of like a sphinx might, or it could outright attack them or bargain with them. It may have questions for them, or it may have answers to questions the players have, but it will bargain for treasure or water, maybe important resources like that. We're in a place like this where water itself might be a form of payment for survival purposes. And of course, it could end up in a combat if those dialogues don't go well. And then maybe further down the road, another thing, it could just be as they're traveling in this area, literally popping up from underneath the sand itself. Could be a sand snake, like a giant viper type thing, or a cobra pops up, and of course it'd have deadly fast strikes and poison that the players would have to contend with. Again, it's unlikely that it would have any treasure itself. Maybe if it swallowed another adventure or something like that, or a traveler, there could be like a ring of gold on them, maybe, or a pouch of a bag of holding or something like that they might be able to pull out of the entrails of this creature itself, but no treasure per se. And eventually, at some point, they may come across the cave complex. Like I said, maybe one of the merchant's companions was kidnapped or whatever. When they go in here, there'd be a band of brigands or like wastelanders that are up. And of course, it's pitch black inside of the cave, so they'd have to bring light sources with them. And the brigands would essentially try and ambush the players wherever they could. And if they could defeat them all, then they might be able to rescue the captured member and of course secure whatever gold the raiders had managed to get. Some of it. But maybe most of their gold is over here in this back area, and there's like a giant sand golem or something, or a clay golem here that's guarding it. So if they want the majority of the gold, maybe that's what the leader did, is he put it in this area here, and he's a spellcaster, and in order to protect the gold, only he is allowed in this area where it is, and the monster would attack anyone, including any of his compatriots, except for himself, in order to protect it. because there's no honor among thieves. And of course, just because it's a somewhat desert themed type experience, you could always have in one of the sections over here, like there might be some lamps and stuff, and if you rub them, I mean, perhaps some kind of a genie or djinn would come out granting wishes or some kind of boon to the players. So that's basically it. It's just a series of encounters that they could have spread out over time. Oops, get my thumb out of the way. This section right here is not necessarily right next to the section that happens right there, right? These are things that could happen hours or days later on the trip, and many miles apart, even though they're right next to each other on the table. So I call that a non-contiguous table. Yes, of course, it's all physically connected, but in terms of storytelling, that's not the way that it's played. It's only when you get to this area here that the monsters get put down. Only when the players get to this area over here, which again might be hours later, that a monster gets put down. So and you just work your way around the map that way. And of course, at any moment, you could move some of these trees and rocks around and throw something else in there and just create a different area of the Desolation lands that they're in. As far as what I used to create it, this battle mat, I'm sorry, I don't remember where it came from. I know it's a neoprene mat, and I love it. I'll see if I can find it and put it in the link below. But like Deep Cut Studios is usually where I get most of my battle mats and stuff from. So it's probably from them. I don't think it's from Noble Knight Games, because usually from them I only get the vinyl type mats, and this one is neoprene, which I definitely prefer. So probably check Deep Cut Studios first. If it's something different, I'll put it in the post. All of the external stuff out here, other than the caves themselves, all the rest of it is all Monster Fight Club. Various trees, short and tall tree stems or trunks, I should say, from their Ice Wilds Kickstarter, which is out of Kickstarter now. You can get the stuff retail. Same thing with their Blighted Pines, some of which I use with and without tree trunks to get the variety of heights to it. Of course, you can stack these at different levels, so you're like, oh, okay, I can have this too, and if I wanted to, oops, I'll throw that in there. If I wanted to, I could put another smaller one up here and make it taller. So it allows you to configure them to have different colors, because you can see this one is like got a reddish tinge to it, and then these ones over here, Blighted Pines, have more of like a grayish tint to it. Notice I didn't use any of the green trees in here because everything's like starved of water and blighted. It's got that whole bleak landscape type thing to it, so that's why I went with those colors. Then of course the different colors hills, just with their standard gray hills or their standard brown hills on there. And then they also have other types of trees. These are also Monster Fight Club trees here that use their original canopies. I didn't use any of those canopies with it. I just put the dead tree look, so to speak, there to help give that blighted landscape. And then I buttressed some more of these hills up against some tiles that I have from Dwarven Forge. These are, of course, their standard cavern tiles that are set up in here, and then I use some of their elevation blocks to have some elevation where there be some, places where the bad guys can jump down on them from, or to give them a feeling of that there's lots of nooks and crannies in here to be explored and checked out. But that's all Dwarven Forge, buttressed up against the Monster Fight Club, on top of the Deep Cut Studios mat, and a whole bunch of Monster Fight Club terrain, sparsely put out around it to create the outside world. So that's it. That is the Desolate Lands. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys next adventure. Take care. Bye.